Coming up on the marketing update.
An autopsy of a failed marketing launch.
Who gets to control the internet?
What's up with all these acquisitions?
When powers collide, what is Pinstagram?
And marketing tools that you want to keep an eye on.
Get ready to be ready.
Welcome to the second installment of the Orange Alert, a special edition of Marketing Update on HubSpot TV.
I'm Michael Mintz.
And I'm Amanda Iglesias.
And we're coming to you live from Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Hi everybody and welcome. It's June 1st, 2012, right? Maybe. And we have actually some pretty exciting news before we dive into today's stories. So this morning,
Yes.
HubSpot attended the Boston Business Journal Best Places to Work. Michael, what are the updates?
The updates are, we are the second best company, mid-sized companies to work at. So big grats to HubSpot on that.
Yeah, I mean, we've been... Yep, we've been first place in a row for 2 years, proving that we paved the way for great innovative companies in Boston. Did we get any special awards, Michael?
Yes, we did. We got first place for Loudest Table at the award ceremony.
See,
so
that's kind of surprising because HubSpot's kind of a quiet crowd. We also want to give a very special shout out to a very pregnant Karen Rubin who joined us this morning. Michael has a little surprise for her.
Yes, I want everyone in the audience to sign this giant sprocket so that we can give this to Karen Rubin in a short time.
Great.
So someone please from the audience take that, pass it around the sprocket.
And now for our regularly scheduled programming. We're going to start with our first story, Autopsy of a Failed Marketing Launch. So San Francisco boycotts a new app. Recent article in Forbes on the debacle that was the launch of SceneTap, a San Francisco launch of this app. What's SceneTap, Michael?
SceneTap is an app that basically allows you to track faces through cameras that are installed in various places such as bars, such as the one in San Francisco from the article.
Okay.
Tell us a bit more about that,
Yeah,
Amanda.
so it's an app for Android and Apple. Allows you to gather information from cameras that are actually monitoring the people in the bars. It's kind of creepy because it gives you real-time data on patrons. So if you're like, I want to go to a bar that has people my age, maybe a nice gender distribution,
Seems like a violation of privacy that all of a sudden, cameras tracking where you go so that all your friends can know which bars you go to.
Yeah, and in fact, Michael, you're not the only one who feels that way. The city of San Francisco was up in arms about this. All of the local, news media were expressing major concern about how this is a big privacy invasion. And they even name-dropped all of the bars who were participating so that the city of San Francisco would actually boycott going there.
Pretty bad stuff. But however, it was actually a failed marketing attempt because what the company failed to reveal was that this app only tracks your approximate age and your gender, and rather than like who exactly you really are, so that everyone knows who you are. So that basically the idea was someone could go to the app and see, okay, here's the gender balance and age range of this bar. Does this match you? Is this what you want, where you want to go? And if it is, you can go there. If not, then okay, pick another bar.
Yeah, so there's like two big failures, right, for SceneTap. Number one, they didn't understand their audience. San Francisco, as we all know, is an epicenter for technology and for a lot of, fun nightlife, but they're also very big on privacy, right? So if the app had a potential to make people feel like they're being spied on, it probably wasn't going to be a good fit in San Francisco in the first place. And they could have really mitigated this had they communicated exactly what the technology did. And in fact, what they did instead was really dismiss the concerns of a lot of the San Francisco media, talking about how they've considered those privacy concerns. It's not as bad as they think it is. And nobody in San Francisco is going to react positively to that. So people felt like their concerns were really dismissed. And it's just too late. At this point, the app has gone viral, but as a thing to boycott, as restaurants and bars that are participating are also being boycotted. So it's kind of a big, epic failure.
So marketing takeaway: be sure you let people know what your app really does before they draw false conclusions and start boycotting it for such a reason.
Right, and definitely make sure that you understand your audience before you make this big leap to launch in a new location.
Shall we get on to our next story?
Let's do it, Michael.
Who gets control of the internet?
So, should the UN be in control over the internet, Michael?
Yeah, that's what we're hearing about recently, that the UN wants to take control of the internet to manage it under one entity rather than the various entities that control the internet at this point in time.
That's right. Mashable was reporting recently this week that there's this big meeting set to occur in December 2012. Well, the Congress Subcommittee on Communications and Technology was scheduled to hear yesterday to talk about what their stance is going to be in this meeting. What's at stake? Currently, the internet is actually managed by a multi-stakeholder model, right, where you've got various private and public organizations that play a role in managing the internet. But what's being proposed is a top-down, centralized international regulation by the United Nations, which some countries say would democratize the internet. But, what's the downside of this, Michael?
Downside of this is that privacy is going to be a major concern. And if you take China, for instance, where China basically took control of the whole country's internet, I don't know if anyone here has ever been to China, but if you try to get to a website while you're there, well, you might have some problems because the government says no.
They censor what you can access. It's called the Great Firewall of China. And in fact, it's true. And in fact, they actually launched the Chinese version of Twitter. Michael, tell us a little bit about how this is different than your standard Twitter fare.
Yeah, so the Chinese version of Twitter called Sina Weibo. I might have mispronounced that, but...
I think we're okay.
All right. So in their version of Twitter, the government basically gives you negative points for posts they don't like, and if you reach a certain point status, they turn off your internet. They just censor you completely.
Yeah, so you gain points by participating in community-based activities, whatever those may be. And you lose them by breaching conduct, whatever that may be. And if you lose all your points, you're then banned from the social network, and you have a high degree of censorship on your internet activity, which kind of stinks.
Yeah, it's like I'm going to get my tweets scored, and then I'm going to get banned from Twitter if my tweets aren't good according to the U.S. or Chinese government.
Well, actually, it's funny that you mentioned the U.S. because everyone's like, well, that would never happen in the U.S. Except recently, the U.S. released a list of terms that they're monitoring. Basically, the Department of Homeland Security is monitoring social networking sites to see what people are talking about. That's kind of creepy, isn't it?
Yeah, so if you use a certain word, if you talk about a TV show called 24, where pretty much any word from there, nerve agent, or that will set off an alarm. Or if you talk about the show Big Bang Theory, quantum physics, that also sets off the alarm. So whether or not you're...
It's a pretty broad list of terms, but what it shows us is that there is a lot for marketers to pay attention to with regard to internet security. And while we pay really close attention to how our prospects search, it's weird to see how the U.S. government monitors us. So when you're monitoring things that your prospects are searching for, make sure that you do it with information that adds value, as opposed to punishes them or restricts them in some weird way, right? Be a good internet citizen, marketers.
Yeah, so marketing takeaways from this, we don't want world domination for the UN to control the internet. Don't have it in one entity, have it many entities so that no one can get too powerful, and therefore it's safe to talk about your favorite TV show like 24, Big Bang Theory, without the government catching up on those words.
We want you to talk about your favorite TV shows too, Michael, so don't worry about that.
Yes, Big Bang Theory is definitely a classic.
Okay.
Any fans out there?
Gotta love Friday afternoons. All right, so Michael, next story. Are we ready for this one?
Yes. What's up with all these acquisitions?
So Michael's going to start by taking a step out of this marketing story to give us a little kind of a brief history of marketing acquisitions.
Yes.
And he's brought back.
All right. So I'm going to play a little Glenn Beck here again.
Don't worry, I got it.
All right. So there are a lot of big companies out there that are trying to really take charge and own social media, and that's the key thing going on in the internet right now. It's all about social. Google has Google Plus now. Facebook is the master right now. Microsoft and Amazon, they went in. So here's basically the scoop of what's going on. So starting with Microsoft, they recently acquired Skype, as everyone knows, and so that they can really get a large user base of people communicating, and that allows them to get more into social. Whereas Apple acquired Chomp, which is an app search engine, which allows them to get into search so that they can start taking on Google perhaps one day in the search king right now. So
it's like a little incestuous web of acquisitions and feature set, right?
Yeah, all it's battle other companies more successfully. And then you've got Facebook, who just acquired Instagram in order to maintain that powerful social balance. Really get more people throwing in all their photos, so they can dominate that aspect and stay on top of Google or anyone else that tries to take them down. You also have Salesforce, who recently acquired Buddy Media. And Buddy Media allows for companies to get in touch with their user base more successfully through apps that are on Facebook. And their Salesforce is trying to become a major player in that. And then you have Amazon, which releases the Fire. And Amazon wants a piece of the pie too. So they recently acquired Kiva Systems. They're sort of not a social company. They are an automation system of robots that basically do all their factory work for them so that they can automate selling stuff so that you can buy Fire and have it the robot will put it in the bag and ship it to you more
Makes
quickly.
Perfect sense.
Yeah. So this is how companies are trying to really get in, take charge, and be masters of social.
Well, so what does all of this mean, right? If we look particularly in the case of Salesforce acquiring Buddy Media, there's a lot of trends that emerge, right? But the specific one that we're looking at today is this idea that, Buddy Media, which, just in case you haven't heard of it before, is a company that helps brands to navigate Facebook's by expanding into social media channels. So it manages your content, manages your apps for you, manages your ads for you. So basically you can outsource a lot of your social media work to Buddy Media. And it's interesting because, social media is a big piece of this more comprehensive marketing strategy. And I wonder, Michael, where have we heard that before?
Social media.
Part of a bigger, comprehensive, all-in-one
sounds
marketing
something
strategy.
Really home-based, maybe HubSpot related. What do you think?
No, Salesforce would never try to be the next HubSpot.
Why would they do that? I can't imagine. What are they thinking?
So what's the marketing takeaway, right? If all of this proves that marketing strategy is not about one specific thing you do well, it's about a bigger picture, right? And figuring out how all those different pieces play together to help you grow your business.
All right. That brings us to our next story.
What is our next story, Michael?
When powers combine. What is Pinstagram?
Yeah, so we've got Instagram, we've got
Pinterest,
and now we've got Pinstagram?
Yeah.
What is Pinstagram, Michael?
So Pinstagram was a weekend project by two people who decided they liked both Pinterest and Instagram, and they wanted both in one, one tool, one place to put all your Instagram photos in a nice setup. So all of a sudden this became popular pretty quickly because people are big fans of Instagram and Pinterest. So when you combine two awesome things, do you get something that's super awesome? And it turns out you just might.
We should have just stopped with the marketing takeaway right there, right? When you combine two things into one thing that's super awesome, it's awesome. But there's a little bit more to it than that, right? Clearly, the marketing world is going towards more visual content, right? So if you haven't embraced visual content as part of your marketing mix, it's probably the time to do it. And in fact, not to name drop a little bit, but our excellent marketing team here at HubSpot just launched a new ebook, 55 brands that are rocking social media with visual content. So if you need a little bit of help getting started, that's probably where you want to go. All right, Michael, What's our final story?
Our final story is marketing tools to keep an eye on.
Ooh, marketing tools to keep an eye on.
Whoa, yeah, it sounds like really home base, here. Tell us about some of this, Amanda.
So our first marketing tool is Bitly. So everybody knows Bitly. Bitly is that very well-known URL shortener that allows you to kind of navigate the short character space that you have available to you in Twitter. But Bitly is now creating a lot more social features as part of their link sharing process. It allows you to save, share, and discover links called bitmarks, sort of like bookmarks, and instantly search through all of your saved bitmarks and see what your friends have saved in their bitmarks, right? Including like things like extensions on their browser and like what people are looking at. And it's interesting, right? Because this is a space that's like, this is supposed to be a tool that just helps you be more efficient, but they're creating this whole social element with it as well.
That's right.
We'll see how that kind of pans out.
They're trying to like really branch out and be more than just like a website URL shortener, but really like have a whole system where you can go there and like see what your friends' links are and maybe make it more social so that they can get into the battle of social media as well. And Facebook, similarly, is coming out with some new tools in order to expand its space. Basically, you can now schedule messages or in the very near future to be published later.
You know what? Anything can happen on Friday at Marketing Update.
Technical
We've
difficulties.
got a little light bulb situation back here who may start a fire.
Yeah. All right, light bulb situation solved. That was a little scary, huh?
You survived, right?
Yeah, it was like a burnout. Anything could happen on HubSpot TV.
In fact, everything is happening on HubSpot TV today.
Today, that's right. We had free stuff that we were going to like toss into the audience. Angry Birds for people. All right, back to the Facebook story. So also, Facebook is now giving you admin roles for your company pages so that you can have a moderator, a content creator, and just a webmasters that basically keep things like different people have different roles so that people have different...
You know what this sounds like to me, Michael? And in fact, it's our marketing takeaway.
Yeah, tell us.
Tell us?
Yeah, tell us.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. I want to hear it.
You want to hear it?
I want to hear it.
All right. I think that networks are responding to marketers' needs for efficiency and measurement. They're getting it.
Right.
We don't just want the fun stuff. We don't just want to share and create a bigger network. We want to be able to be more efficient, and we want to measure our results. Am I right?
It's all about results, getting really good data and getting good results and deciding how to act on that data.
Woo, data.
Data is key to everything.
Speaking of data, or not, we've got a couple of tweets for today. So I have no idea how to say that Twitter handle, but A.E. Gale is loving the Charlie Brown music, and that this person works at the number 2 best place to work at HubSpot. Do you work at HubSpot? Oh, hi, welcome. It's one of our marketing interns. Karen Rubin says thanks, and that the orange sprocket is roughly the size of her. Artillery Market is watching HubSpot's marketing updates. New hosts are performing like Clockwork Orange, or like not. Ashley says that Michael, you have to point your pages towards the camera next time.
Which camera? Like there are two cameras. That camera. Okay, there's like camera over here, camera over there. Like they hear it. They hear the story, right? The audience sees it.
All right. So Michael, what's up for the weekend? What do you got going on?
Let's see. This weekend. Well, before we even talk about the weekend, I promised people from last time that I'd bring back the dragons.
They're here.
They are here. The dragons are here on the marketing update, like as promised.
As promised.
Yeah, because Dragon Spot TV was like the nickname someone gave us. I don't know who it was, but it's like Dragon Spot.
Well, there you go. See, Michael delivers.
Delivers. And I was also going to mention one thing, that a possible new mascot for HubSpot.
Oh, so you want a petition for a new HubSpot mascot?
Yeah, I was thinking...
What's your thought?
My thought is a marketing phoenix, because the phoenix, like...
Why a phoenix, Michael?
I'll explain. So, the phoenix is a mythical creature that when it dies, it comes back to life, and it's like stronger than ever before. So what HubSpot does with several companies that don't have a really good marketing strategy, like we just give them all this marketing power, and then they become like, they rise to like stardom and like revived from like if they were in trouble.
Inspiring.
So Marketing Phoenix.
Who wants to campaign for the Phoenix to be HubSpot's next mascot? Can I hear some?
Marketing Phoenix.
Phoenix.
So what are you doing this weekend, Amanda?
You know, I'm going to try to get that Phoenix petition off the ground. I think that's what I'm going to do this weekend.
That sounds like an incredible strategy.
All right. Well, we hope you have a great weekend. Thank you for joining us today. And we hope to see you soon, but probably will not be invited back.
And the band is going to close us out with some awesome music before anyone goes anywhere. Hit it.